What if Albert Einstein, the man who unlocked the secrets of the universe, decided to solve crimes instead of equations? What if the father of relativity became the detective of the impossible? What if Albert Einstein was a detective? He didn't carry a gun, only chalk and a notebook, but what he carried was far more dangerous: the power of logic. While others searched for fingerprints, Einstein searched for patterns. While detectives questioned suspects, he questioned the laws of reality itself. And here's the twist: he brought with him 5 secrets, methods so unusual, so brilliant, that they could turn even the darkest crime into a solvable puzzle. But the question is, would these secrets always bring justice? Or would they reveal truths the world wasn't ready to face? Stick with us until the end of this episode of What If Celebrities to uncover the 5 secrets of Einstein the detective. And while you're here, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. After all, even the greatest mysteries are easier to solve when you're part of this investigation. The first case seemed unsolvable. A locked room murder, no fingerprints, no footprints, no weapon. Detectives shook their heads. Impossible, they muttered. Then Einstein walked in, hair wild, chalk dust still on his coat. Instead of gloves, he pulled out a piece of chalk. The officers burst into laughter. "You think math can solve this?" one sneered. But Einstein ignored them. He scribbled on the wall, angles, distances, time of entry. To the shock of everyone, he pointed at the closet and calmly declared, "The killer never left. He's still here." The door creaked open, and there he was, caught red-handed. The room froze. The impossible had just become inevitable. This was Einstein's first secret, using pure logic to expose what eyes couldn't see. But the real mystery was just beginning, because the next case would challenge not only his logic, but his very faith in it. A week later, another case shook the city. A shooting in an alley with no witnesses, no clear weapon, and suspects pointing fingers at each other. The police were lost. That's when Einstein arrived, this time carrying not chalk, but a piece of string and a pocket watch. He measured the bullet holes, calculated the angles, and traced the line of fire using nothing but the string. Then, with the calm of a teacher explaining homework, he said, "The shooter was standing exactly here, 3 meters from the wall." The officers scoffed. "On paper, maybe, but real life isn't theory, Professor." Yet when they checked, the evidence matched his prediction perfectly. Murmurs filled the alley. He had just proven the improbable. But before they could arrest the culprit, the suspect fled into the night, vanishing like smoke. The police mocked him again. "Brilliant math, Einstein. But criminals don't live in equations." He smiled faintly, scratching his wild hair. "No, but they can't escape them either." This was his second secret, turning probabilities into undeniable truth. But the question remained, could logic catch criminals, or only reveal the truth too late? And what came next would test Einstein in ways no formula had ever prepared him for. Rumors spread of a criminal unlike any other, someone studying Einstein's every move. Soon, crime scenes weren't just littered with blood and broken locks. They came decorated with equations, false formulas on the walls, wrong calculations, scribbled in chalk, numbers designed to waste his time. The police panicked. "Professor, he's mocking you," they said. Einstein examined one wall of symbols, tapped his chalk against the board, and smirked. "At least he knows his algebra." Poorly. The room erupted in nervous laughter. But this was no joke. The mastermind was using logic as a weapon, creating mathematical illusions to lead Einstein astray. For the first time, the great scientist felt hunted, not by bullets, but by numbers. This was his third secret, unmasking deception with sharper logic. He cracked the false formulas, revealing the criminal's trail. But as the chase grew tighter, one thought haunted him. If even math could lie, how could anyone ever trust the truth again? And just when Einstein believed he had the upper hand, the game changed once more. The newspapers crowned him the detective of the impossible. His wild hair and chalk-stained coat appeared on every front page. Crowds gathered outside police stations, chanting his name as if justice itself now wore glasses and carried chalk. But with fame came questions. Journalists shouted, "Professor, can equations predict a crime before it happens? Can numbers read the human heart?" Governments whispered about using his methods to control entire cities. Some even offered him blank checks, demanding formulas. that could anticipate rebellion. Einstein chuckled at first. "Gentlemen, if I could predict the heart, I would have been married twice less." The room laughed, but behind the humor, a shadow lingered. He knew logic could solve puzzles, but could it handle chaos when power demanded certainty? This was his fourth secret, turning fame into influence, but refusing to let influence corrupt his logic. Yet the pressure grew unbearable. Was he solving crimes or opening the door to a world where privacy no longer existed? And what came next would be his greatest challenge yet, the final case, where every formula would be tested, and one last mystery would decide everything. The city's greatest criminal mastermind struck again, this time leaving an entire room covered in chalk symbols, circles, equations, false trails. Detectives threw up their hands. "It's madness," they said. Einstein stepped forward, eyes narrowing. He filled the blackboard wall with his own furious scribbles, connecting lies into one single pattern. Hours passed, the room filled with silence, broken only by the squeak of chalk. Then finally, he dropped the chalk, turned to the police, and pointed. "The answer isn't on the wall, it's standing right there." The crowd gasped. The criminal everyone thought untouchable stood frozen in the doorway, exposed not by evidence, but by reason itself. Applause erupted, but Einstein only stared at the blackboard and whispered, "There will always be an unknown." This was his fifth and final secret. Even the sharpest logic cannot erase mystery. And now we ask you, if Albert Einstein had truly become a detective, would science rewrite justice, or would mystery always remain? Hit like, subscribe, and join us in the comments. Which celebrity should we reimagine next? Because history may belong to the past, but imagination belongs to all of us.